What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And yes, we are home with that $1,000 cash grab. But the big story is, we have our doors wide open, and we love when we have guests coming in the studio.
Yeah.
And today, we have a legend in music, in film, in activism, whatever you want to put on it. In life, a Hall of Famer. Man, Ice Cube is in the building.
Yeah.
A pioneer, throw that on there too.
That's
Appreciate
right.
it.
What's up with you, bro?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Great. Today's the day.
Today is the day.
Yeah.
Today's the day.
It is the
amazing.
day. Congratulations. The album is out today.
Yeah, man Down, 19 tracks. Got a few of the homies on there, West Coast homies.
Yeah.
And, we got my man Killer Mike.
Hi.
Michael is what they call him, I heard.
Since he won the Grammys, he's
I think that's what happened because the other day I was with him canvassing in these streets, and he said, "Not Killer Mike, Michael." Call me Michael.
Call me Michael.
We'll call him Homicide Mike.
Okay, I like that.
My man, Busta Rhymes on that Egomaniac. So it's a great day. Still doing it. All my day one fans gonna love this record.
Listen, I love the fact that you're dropping this album, and I think there's a wave right now with some of our pioneers, that have been doing it for a while,
That's right.
Yeah.
dropping projects like you. Common and Pete Rock just dropped an album. You know what I mean? LL just dropped the album.
Yeah, LL.
Like, what is
Snoop
it about?
and Drake coming.
Snoop
I
is
love
coming,
it.
yeah.
I love it. What is it about right now that's giving you guys inspiration to put out new music?
Man, we all love the game. We all love being in the rap game. I think we're all very creative. We're all perfectionists. And when we have enough songs that's ready, for the public, only right for us to drop. And it's cool because, hip hop should be ageless.
I feel
Yeah.
This is not
I feel
this is
like
not
that too, bro.
athletics. This is I'm not gonna my tongue is not gonna, be like an ACL injury or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can still spit, and it's cool that the OGs are still doing it.
Yeah, so what about the cover, though? Because we know you're no stranger to controversy. And on the cover, you see some people laying dead on the ground, it looks like. And
Well, they're not dead. They're just down.
Okay. They look
See
a
what I'm
little
saying?
dead.
They're just down.
I never laid in the middle of the street before, Jesus, so I'm just trying to figure it out.
Well, it's the record is called Man Down, and I think the man got to get up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a cover where you got a young brother walking through, and all the strong men are down, and who's going to teach that young brother how to do it if the men in our society don't get back up.
I like that.
Your last project came out 2018?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why so long in between projects?
The pandemic was crazy, so
yeah,
that took
it was.
That seemed like it took 2 years from everybody.
Yep.
Between 2020 and 2021, everybody. I think they was talking about monkeypox then. It staggered everybody's get down, and then I ended up doing that project with Snoop, E40, and Too Short at Mount Westmore. And then after that, it was time to do a solo. So here we are.
Now it's the time.
Now it's the time. Yeah.
We're glad you're back at it. We all know, just like you said, the song Man Down and the album cover, it represents something. What would you say this overall body of work for Man Down is about?
Well, it's quintessential West Coast Ice Cube.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I sprinkle game in there, subject matter. It's always street knowledge with me.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to give you a hip hop hit with a little bit of game sprinkled in there on top, here and there. And so it's no different with this record. I think we got some great records. When you accumulate a nice body of work, it's time to let it fly.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And people always respect you for being one of the greatest, but your name never went away, even when it comes to you not releasing music. I know there was a lot of controversy circulating your Big 3 league and the
Yeah.
Kaitlyn Clark situation.
Yeah.
That got really big. You offered her $5 million. Is that you? Oh, no. What?
It was
for
10. It was
$10
actually
million
10.
for 8 games.
Well, it was 2 years, $5 million a year, and it could have been 10 games if she went to the championship.
Yeah.
And so we felt like, it was a business decision. At the end of the day, we felt like her looking at the numbers that she was pulling as far as viewership, sponsor dollars, ticket sales.
Right.
We felt like adding somebody like that to our league would bump the league. It would unlock, millions of sponsor dollars and
Absolutely.
just be a great thing. And we thought she could actually play in the Big 3 because we've had a few smaller guards get down, like Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf, and these guys come in and get busy. Nate Robinson.
Mm-hmm.
So we felt like, okay, the game wouldn't be too physical for her with her style of play, which is, 3-pointers, passing, outside, work really. So we thought it was a possibility, but it's cool. It didn't happen, but the offer was real, and I think it would have been an exciting time to see if she wanted to do it and could do it.
I thought it was a great idea, and regardless, it had people talking. But some people were upset you didn't give an offer to Angel Reese.
Well, like I said, it was a business decision. To me, Angel's I'd rather watch Angel play. But it wasn't
personal.
unlocking those dollars, to bring her into the league like it would have with Kaitlyn. And that's just, how the sponsors was rolling, and that, it's just the reality of the business. I mean, we had offered Maya Moore when she was, still playing. She had just retired a spot when the league was like 2 years old. But she started to do a lot of, activist civil rights type work, and she was done playing. But she would have gave our league a bump at the time because, Maya Moore was biggest star in the WNBA. So it's just a business decision. If it makes sense, for another WNBA player when they come around, we'll do it. If it don't, we won't.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the pandemic a little while ago. Back leading up to the pandemic, you were catching a lot of heat. You had your plan for Black America, and people were giving you a hard time about meeting with Republicans. And when the Democrats told you wait till after the election, that was a whole thing.
No, they both, just for clarity, for background on this, I wrote something called Contract with Black America. And both parties contacted me. I didn't go say, hey, look what I got. Hey, check me out. Both campaigns contacted me and said they wanted to discuss it. So I went to discuss it with both parties, the Democrats too, and the Republicans. And what happened was the Democrats said after we get elected, we'll readdress this. And the Trump team went on and did the meeting. So that's as far as it goes. They looked at some of our plan, and they asked, could we use any pieces of this plan? I'm like, this plan is for the public. Anybody can use it. Anybody can modify it, make it better. It's just a look at the problem. And they took some things from the plan and put it in the platinum plan, which is not my plan. I never wrote the platinum plan or any of that or had anything to do with that.
Right.
That was their decision. And anybody, like I said, can go into the Contract with Black America, pluck any idea or anything from there and create real legislation. That's what it's all about. So, you know, that's the controversy, and you know, everybody say I'm this big Trump supporter when I've never voted for Trump.
Right.
Never
That's what
campaigned for Trump.
Okay.
Never did anything for Trump.
That's what I was.
We had a conversation with him about this before, and you actually, I recall you saying that this is a draft and things that you would like other people to join in, and if they have input, you said the Tamika Mallory, you said
Right.
they would also, you would love to have conversations with them
course.
to add their input into the contract as well. But it seems like when you did meet with Trump, excuse me, the
I never
Project
met
20,
with- I never met with
Trump's
Trump.
people,
Administration, yeah.
administration, sorry,
Yeah.
Trump's administration. Some people are saying like they took some of your, because I did read some of your contract, but that they tried to take it and make it towards white people for the Project 2025. And, you know, now he's trying to set up reparations for white people. But you said,
Which is crazy.
yeah, but you have said, keep your reparations, that we need access to capital as black people. Why do you feel like that's important for our people?
Well, I never said keep your reparations.
Okay, it was a quote I saw. So
Yeah,
sorry.
you know, whether you can get reparations from this government or not, you know, that's been tried for a long time, and it's going to continue to be fought. But you know, the private sector determines whether they're going to, you know, loan capital to business men, women who want to open businesses or want to grow their business. And that has to open up. That has nothing to do with the government. It has something to do with these banking institutions that we all put our money into,
Yeah.
but don't loan the money out, you know, in a fair way.
Right.
Private equity has really relegated us to 1% or 2% of all the capital that's in private equity. So, you know, until we get a fair shot from all these institutions,
Right.
things are going to continue to go bad. You know, the wealth gap is going to continue to grow. You know, I don't know nothing about anything this administration is doing that's coming in. I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I wrote up something and people can use it or not, but can't blame me for
Right.
any
Trying.
outcomes or
Yeah.
trying to get people elected. I don't care about none of these politicians. All of them are crooks, snakes, and liars.
Did you
And
feel a little disappointed in the way that you were getting some of that backlash, knowing that, listen, y'all are misinterpreting what I'm trying to say?
You know, people play stupid.
Mm.
You know, when people want you to be wrong, they figure a way to make you wrong. People, you know, if they really look at the facts, they'll understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
And, you know, if they still want to play games and, you know, try to be like, oh, man, he this and he that, I think that's their problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
I ain't going to make it my problem.
You've
feel
been
that.
standing
I
on
know
business.
I
From
know
day
who I
one.
am, know what I did, know what I do. I know the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody that's looking at this with any kind of fair lens, who are not taking sides or playing sides, they would know exactly what I did.
Yeah.
It was simple and plain.
So one quote I'm not getting wrong. You called yourself Kendrick before Kendrick, right? So let's talk about these diss tracks. You definitely have one of
But
the
that
top
wasn't a
ones.
diss.
No, I'm
Okay.
not saying it was, but
Okay.
I'm referring to one of yours, No Vaseline, which obviously people have put at the top. I know that's one of
Yeah.
Kyle's
Yeah.
favorite all-time
Absolutely.
records.
We had a topic one day about the top disc record, so it's up there.
And that's
Yeah.
exactly what I want to ask you. So I know you've been seeing that everybody put No Vaseline in the top. They're saying 1, number 2 or 3. It's all over the
Yeah.
board, right?
Yeah.
What would you say if you're thinking about disc records, if you had like a top 3? Could you think of off the top of your head, who would you put in your top 3 disc records?
Besides No Vaseline?
No, I think put yourself in there as
Oh,
well.
well, I got the top one.
Number 1, let's go. Okay, so would I say like an honorary one? Like, so you're number 1, of course, but who would you put after you?
I think, of course, Hit 'Em Up is great, and not like us.
Is that
Don't-
it?
yeah,
I noticed they all West Coast
That's
though,
it.
bro.
You
Come
being
on
biased now.
I am being biased, no doubt.
And that's it. That's what I said.
Yeah, that's it. That's true.
Let me ask you this, because you have always represented the West Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people consider one of your top albums, America's Most Wanted,
Yeah.
produced entirely by the Bomb Squad, East Coast, New York, Public Enemy family.
They produce a lot of it. Most of it,
for sure. I mean, it's my favorite. I ain't gonna hold you. It's my favorite album. Is it possible that, I know you're just putting this new album, Man Down, out today. Everybody go to stores, pick that up. All right? Keep that out there. But is it possible we could get West Coast Ice Cube reunited with some East Coast production or something along those lines in the future?
Always. I've always
That's my favorite joint,
I've
Cube.
always used producers from all over the country.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a guy who's like, I gotta use this guy, I gotta use that guy. The music speaks for itself.
Okay.
You know, when I hear music I like that I think I could do a good song with, it really don't matter who the producer is or where he comes from. You know, the music, you know, the speakers talk. And so I've used producers on each album, especially after Death Certificate.
Yeah.
On every album after that, I've used producers from here, from New York, the Bay Area, Texas, Louisiana.
Okay.
You know, I've used producers from all over the country, and I'll continue to do that because it's all about the music. You know, sometimes you get caught up in these names, and what they give you ain't banging. You know?
Yeah.
And then some little youngster that's hungry come up with tracks that speak to you and speak to the music. And so I've never discriminated on producers at all.
For sure. For sure.
So how is it working with Dr. Dre again? Because I know the two of you had your reuniting. When y'all did reunite, y'all didn't even speak on what happened. You just embraced each other in a hug.
Yeah.
So did y'all ever have a conversation about, like, you know, what went wrong? Or did you just let it be business as usual?
You know, there was no need for a lengthy conversation about any of that because, you know, it was all business. You know, it got a little personal with the music, but, you know, it's nothing but love and respect because we saw each other at our, you know, at the bottom, you know, like started from the bottom, now we here.
Absolutely.
For real, for real. And so, you know, when you real friends, you go through your rough stuff, but you quickly get over it and try to move on. And going back, hashing up like the ins and outs of that, just what would it do?
Right.
But remind people of old wounds. So it's really all about moving forward, you know, and being comfortable with what we've created. Yeah.
So does it feel nostalgic? Like, so when y'all are in the studio together, like, what's the vibes?
Feel like, you know, 1985, 86. You know, you as an MC in the booth with Dre, you got to work. You know, you want every syllable perfect. So you're gonna be in there a while.
A little more precise, a little more,
You want every syllable.
A real
perfect.
producer, because you don't see producers working like that anymore.
Right.
They send you the beat, and then that's just it.
Email
it's
it
true.
back, right?
It's true.
Yeah,
Crazy.
email me the track.
True.
Right.
And he really works the record and pulls your best out of you.
It's so, your career, man, is just so interesting and how expansive it's been, right? For me, I go back to Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube from a gang called Niggas with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a short off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies all hauled off. And my kids know, are we there yet?
Yeah.
I like both. Get you someone that can do both.
You understand what I'm saying? What is it like for you having different audiences and they don't really seem to bleed over into each other? You know what I mean? You have different generations. You have plenty of white fans now. You know what I'm saying? Where back in the day, they probably would be scared to touch you. You know what
They
I'm
still
saying?
was out there though. The white people still
Some of
was
them was
rocking
for
with.
sure, but you know,
Yeah.
you got songs like "Burn Hollywood Burn." All of these songs were pretty much anti-establishment. But then at some point, you're making these, like I said, "Are We There Yet?" movies and kids movies, and they're embracing you. Like, how does Ice Cube remain himself and still able to maneuver in all these different segments of his audience?
You know, it's a situation where we was anti-establishment only because we wanted a piece of a good life and good living. And if we had a path to that, or we saw that, then, or we didn't see the injustices that was right in front of our face, then we probably wouldn't make them songs. You know, if you can go to any prison in America, probably the world, all of them would trade they cell in for a house and a nice picket fence, 2-car garage, all the good amenities everybody want and need. So that's what they were looking for. That's probably why they in there, most of them. You know, it's really about just trying to live a regular, productive life. And when people feel like they can't do that, sometimes they go to the alternative stuff. So yeah, we hard. Everybody, you know, everybody that do a hardcore record, and you go to their house and they still got, you know, 1,000 count sheets and all that. You know, they got, you know, the amenities that everybody want. All of them got a big screen TV, and they, you know, it's just having the regular things in life that, you know, the little extra things that people want. So putting that in perspective, yeah, you could do a record like Hardcore Gangsta this, but also do a movie for the kids. Because that's our future. Me, when I did those kind of movies, I was like, well, my fans got kids now. And, you know, when you got little 5-year-olds walking up to you saying, you got knocked the fuck out. Like,
I say it twice a day.
saying, yo, you shouldn't be watching that little. Let me get a little movie for you to watch, because you know that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So just to make sure they stay kids, and then what happens is they become fans. So they end up growing up and getting into the music. They might grow up and then see Friday. They might grow up and you know, see Straight Outta Compton and say, oh damn, now I understand this Ice Cube dude who I thought was just an actor on this kids movie.
Absolutely.
And so, you know, the fans are going full circle. Now those fans that grew up with Are We There Yet are in their mid-20s, and they coming to the shows. They buying the merch. They, you know, hopefully gonna get the new record.
That's right. Out today.
They into, you know, they into me as an artist, and now they having kids, and hopefully they'll show their kids Are We There Yet, and we'll just keep
the
that
cycle
process
going.
going.
Yeah.
For sure.
I love how, because your movies do bring people together. And like you say, we quote them all day. Just the other day, I was like, you want some too, old man? No. Like, we do this all the time. But your movies has kind of had a little people beefing, not little, but big people beefing as well. Cat Williams and obviously our very own Ricky Smiley here. They had a big situation over movie roles. Can you believe, could you imagine that
It's
that
funny.
would be something that would come out of it?
No, I never would think in a million years that people would still be arguing over the casting of a Friday movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it just shows you how beloved these movies are, you know, and you know, people are hitting me and like, Cube, like, what happened to the last 2 security guards, man? This is getting, like, I've been waiting 22 years to hear this. What happened to him, man? I gotta know.
Yeah.
And that's like, dude, it's a movie. Calm down. Whatever you imagine in your head happened to him, happened to him.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and then people are coming like, wait a minute, if Craig got fired on his day off and he was going to get his check, why he didn't have the $200 for Big Worm?
Right.
I'm like, they didn't give him his damn check. He got fired. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, but people take this movie so literal and serious, and it's been part of everybody's lives for so long. To me, it's just amazing that
it's dope, bro.
You know, with a little movie we did, you know, about just basically chilling in the neighborhood. Has become this like phenomenon.
I mean, it's the biggest movie. To me, that's
phenomenon.
my number one movie when it comes to like our movies. Friday, hands down, all the work. Then you even have people in there that if you're watching, you're like, Megan Good at the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
Some people still to this day don't realize she's in that movie.
Yeah, she was a little girl in that movie.
That's so crazy. So what about the last Friday?
Come on
because
now.
we're hearing
Come on now.
about
We
it.
gotta talk about
we're
it.
hearing the whispers.
Yeah. We're in the process of getting the paperwork together with
love
New
it.
Line, and once they sign them papers, we off and running. So
Do you need another little girl at the ice cream truck? I'm a little older. Maybe it could be a different kind of truck.
everybody,
A weed truck.
A weed truck. It's legal now. You get what I'm saying?
everybody and their mama want to be in this movie.
Of course
so
they do.
Of
Please don't
course.
put the. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Be careful.
The audition lines are gonna be long, so if you can wait in the audition,
I'm gonna
line,
wait.
no
And I
problem.
feel like everybody will, except for the role. The only person I ever heard complain about their role in Damn Friday, and not complain, but I guess she kind of got some, is Felicia.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that? Because she said it kind of affected her whole entire life, like, and not in the
Typecasting
best.
and all that.
Yeah.
Oh man, she was a beautiful model and comedian when we first met her. And
Yeah.
I couldn't believe that she turned into Felicia.
How'd she do that?
Yeah, that was you that walked in? He's like, yeah, that's me. I was like, damn, okay. And she was great. Now, I never knew the Bye Felicia line was so iconic.
Right.
Yeah.
When we did it. That's something that kind of resurged, like, it seemed like 10 years ago, about 15 years ago.
Social media, bro.
It just
It's crazy.
started to become a thing, and I had hoped that she would, enjoy being a part of the Friday movie.
Yeah.
I didn't, nobody wants you to do a movie and you have problems afterwards. You know?
Yeah.
I heard that happens to a lot of soap opera actors. People see them on the street and be like, I hate your ass for what you did on Thursday night or Thursday afternoon. I hate you for that, So it's just, in some ways, it shows you how good the movies are and how
Absolutely.
literal people take them. But that's a shame that she would feel, bad about it. I
But
wanted her-
you did what you did, and everybody
Yeah,
else.
I mean,
Before we move off the Friday movie, I just want to ask you just what it was like, rest in peace, man, working with John Witherspoon.
Oh my God.
Because, bro, like, he's another one that has classic lines in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean,
Brothers
he's
been
the
saying for
best.
25 years they're going to be in the bathroom for 35, 45 minutes.
Yeah. I come in the kitchen, you always
You are.
eating up all the food.
Right.
I'm telling you every word.
He was just even if he never was a comedian, he was just a funny person. Some people just got it.
Yeah.
They just funny no matter what he say, no matter what he do. He can be serious and you still looking at him wanting to laugh. He'd be like, where I park, Cube? He'd be like, it's still funny. He make you smile every time you see him. And so some people got that magic. Mike Epps is another dude that's the same way. He funny no matter what. You don't have to give him lines. I mean, he funny at the craft service. He funny, walking to the set,
Yeah.
And so it was just amazing to get a chance to work with him because he had worked with the best. He had worked with the Richard Pryor's and he, to me, later in his career, when the Wayans brothers and me and we started working with him, that's when he started getting his props.
Yeah.
Really as a front man comedian. Eddie Murphy put him
Boomerang.
in Boomerang was one of the jump offs. He did a movie with Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans called Hollywood Shuffle.
That was classic.
Classic. And so I was like, I always saw that dude as super funny. And I knew when I did a movie, I wanted him to play my daddy. Because, I knew he'd bring comedy to a role that could have been, ultra serious.
Yeah.
Now, we know you've been so influential in everything, your style. So your style still to this day, NWA's whole style, people are still wearing the iconic Raiders, the all black, is
especially
that
during Halloween. I see all these
you
little
see everybody.
Jerry Curl kids walking around.
Yeah, I definitely was Easy E for one Halloween.
Wasn't that like last year?
I know. It's been a while.
How does that feel to you though? Because the fact that you this is something it has not really changed. You're still influential even in style right now.
It's cool. It's
That's
fun.
crazy.
To see little kids dressed up like you, or you in the NWA. It'd be like 5 little kids. You can pick each one. That's easy. That's red.
That's wild.
Yeah. So that it's we never dreamed in a million years that we would get to this point.
Right.
When we started doing music, it was so raw and underground, and nobody else but very few was doing music that raw. So we figured we was just relegated to the underground. We was just gonna be underground locals, only known in Compton, Watts, South Central, and that's it. And it went the other way almost immediately.
Yeah.
It just blew up. And so I'm still tripping the fact that that I'm here, being asked to do the World Series and stuff
Which
like
is crazy.
that.
Yeah, that's fine.
This stuff that I would never imagine in 1,000 years if you asked me back in 1985 and 86 when we were starting, how far this gonna get you. I would have been like, man, hopefully I could pay my damn insurance on my car with that.
Yeah.
That's all I was looking for. Just something simple, and it just blew up into this amazing career.
Can you straighten something out for me, bro? I'm tired of people on social media specifically being impressed by, such and such did a whole rhyme or such and such did a whole song and they didn't curse one time. And I recently had to remind somebody, what are y'all talking about? The only reason that people feel free enough to curse the way they do now is because of NWA. When y'all came on the scene, yes, there might have been 1 or 2 curse words in a whole song. It might have been 1 or 2 curse words on a whole album. Y'all came out and just said, I'm going to curse every other line. I don't care what
thanks a lot. And now they won't stop.
Now they won't stop. My point being, though, I think a lot of times people forget where things came from and who changed the trajectory of a lot of the things that happened, and they put credit in the wrong places.
Yeah, I don't know if that's something we want to
I know. I'm like, wait, what?
credit for, but you got to understand the time. You make a great point, because when we started, you couldn't do anybody else's style.
Right.
You had to create your own lane, your own style.
Mm-hmm.
So when we decided to do this underground style of music, we felt like, okay, this shit is so hard. We're going to be the only ones doing this. And we're just going to be, it's not really for
right.
the mainstream.
It wasn't for mainstream, right?
It was just straight for underground rapping, rappers and hip-hop fans. So we felt like, just like a Richard Pryor record or Eddie Murphy, Red Fox record, that our records would be in that category.
Like our parents had to listen to those records in the basement when the kids wasn't around.
So we felt like, we can talk like this because only a certain few gonna hear this. And then it went the other way, which we get blamed for, the mainstream blowing the record up. It's like we don't have the power to put ourselves on TV, y'all. And, only the mainstream got to say, okay, look at this and blow it up. So, you know, we felt like nobody was gonna do this style because you couldn't get on the radio, couldn't get a video out.
Y'all went platinum without
it was
radio
just so
play.
it was so
Crazy.
raw.
Hey, watch your
Nobody else is gonna do this because this is basically music suicide in a way. Because everybody does songs to get on the radio.
Right.
This is why Lonzo in the movie said, man, nobody want to hear that rapping about going to jail shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody want to hear that, man. You can't play that on the radio. What you doing? Y'all wasting your money. Y'all wasting your time. But we felt it was true to what we were seeing on the streets and what we was going through and what we was dodging every day. So it was the best thing to rap about. And then it went the other way. It blew up. More artists started to use profanity in their rhymes. Then, matter of fact, more artists just started to just do gangster records. So it just went the other way.
Yeah.
Before, if people did that, the hip hop community would be like, wait a minute, you biting that from NWA. You can't, we ain't accepting that.
Right.
But now they was embracing everybody that was doing it because it was so, you know, next level and raw.
Yeah.
And it was just the next level that hip hop wanted to go to. And so we looked and saw everybody doing our style.
Yeah.
And so what can you
Gift
do
and a
about
curse
that?
at the same time.
Yeah. You
Did
know,
y'all-
it's like Frankenstein, you know, you create a monster.
Facts.
Did y'all ever have beef over names? Because like nowadays it'd be like Little and all the Littles don't like each other. And Doll and all the Dolls don't like each other. But then you have Ice-T, you have Ice Cube. Does Vanilla Ice count? No, I'm joking.
No beef.
You said no.
No beef. Ice is my big brother. You know, he taught me a lot in the game. And back then, names were like you had a whole bunch of grandmaster this,
Yeah,
or
MC.
mix master that, or
Right.
MC this and DJ that. So the names wasn't, you know, that, you know, how you gonna tell somebody to change their name? You know what I mean? People been calling me Ice Cube since I was 12. Like, how you gonna tell me change my name?
Right.
You change your name. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't none of that really going on because names are names. And then, like, coming from LA, it's a gangbang capital, so everybody got nicknames. So, you know, it's like we had a Monster Pookie, but I heard about 4 Monster Pookies in different neighborhoods.
Right.
My dog's named Monster because of the book Monster after Monster Cody.
Oh, Monster Code. Yeah. Monster Pookie.
Yeah, see, all that.
Yeah.
So it just happens. You know, it ain't nothing you can trip about.
What you were talking about beefing, right? I always thought that maybe hip hop right now could use a moment like you and Common had when the minister got involved and pieced things out. We're seeing a lot of rappers going to jail right now. The drill movement has rappers getting shot over things being said in music. And at that time, for those that don't remember, you and Common were going back and forth. And the minister at that time pulled hip hop together in Chicago, and you guys hugged it out in front of the nation and pieced everything out. Like when you remember that experience and you see these rappers now that are kind of shooting and killing each other, you know what I mean? Is there anything that we could do? Do you think there should be a moment like that? Like, how can we get some of this peace back?
You know, it's rough when there's bloodshed. You know, when there's bloodshed, it's harder. You know, with me and Common, it was more of a misunderstanding. It wasn't even, to me, I jumped the gun on dissing him because I was in my feelings about everybody starting to diss the West Coast and our style of music. So I felt like, okay, you know, Common really wasn't dissing the West Coast, and I jumped the gun on him. And then he did a diss record on me.
The bitch in you.
And
you used your own lyric on you. That was kind of crazy.
And I was, you know, of course, ready to come back. And then the minister called a meeting to all the rappers, you know, not just us, but, you know, it was like 30 of us in there, and just said, hey, you know, you guys are in a great position. You know, you're making money, you're famous, you're, you know, influencing the youth in in certain ways, and like to see y'all fighting, it's just gonna make them fight. And when you fight in public, you know, he taught us a great lesson. When you fight in public, see, a third party can come in and kill or hurt one of you guys, and then you're gonna blame each other. So, you know, sometimes the government is watching us, and when they see you fighting, they may step in and do something to one of y'all, and now y'all gonna blame each other and never even look. And it happened to the Nation of Islam with Malcolm X.
Right.
You know, they were feuding in public. The government kills Malcolm X, and to this day, people still blame the Nation of Islam because of the rhetoric that was being said. So that's a great point, great lesson, and I'm glad we squashed the beef. We ended up doing a movie together, Barbershop, and a record together, and been friends ever since. And so you can get past the beefs, but when it's bloodshed, it's harder. You know, it's more than just a meeting. You know, you have to work on it, you know, on a consistent basis to really bring peace.
And not to spark the beef back up, but I think you won. Because if you, not the real beef, but you know, the feud. Because think about it, if Common's in the movie, that kind of makes you the boss because you signed the check. Common, you lost.
Nah, I ain't gonna put it that way, cause no, cause Common, he produces movies, and
That's
if
right.
he hired me, I'm gonna go to work for him. You know what I'm
Who
saying?
first?
There you go, boy. There you go.
I'm the opposite
Yeah,
of
that's her.
today.
That's her, man.
He said, "Don't bring none of that back.
man.
I ain't going back
I
to
was
that."
sitting over here like, you know what?
That's
You
what's
win.
up. Q, man, you're an absolute
wins.
legend, bro. Absolute legend. We
Thank you.
appreciate everything that you brought to us, from music to movies and all of that. And, you know, again, you're here because we want people to know today the new album's out, Man Down. You know what I mean? Anything you want people to know about this album, holler at the audience, man.
Hey, if you're an Ice Cube fan, you're gonna love this record. If you're a day 1, day 2, or day 3, man, this is for you, man. Go grab it, cop that, bang it. You know, listen to the whole thing.
Crazy.
And then listen to it again. You know what I mean? It's dope.
And again and again and again.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure. All right, there it is, man. Ice Cube hanging out with us right here on The Morning Hustle.
The
Y'all know what time it
winner.
is.
We are the Morning Hustle.